Drama makes bank, and this is how. Let's be honest, we've all fallen down an online drama rabbit hole. But have you ever stopped to think about who's cashing in on all that chaos? The biggest creators know exactly how valuable gossip is, and they've turned it into a multi-million-dollar industry. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you the blueprint for turning controversy into cash. This isn't some flaw in the system, it's a feature. It's a well-oiled, repeatable, and incredibly profitable business model that taps into one of our most basic instincts. We just can't look away from the lives of others. We're not talking about petty arguments. We're talking about a content machine that drives billions of views and has turned regular people into media moguls. It works by hitting emotional triggers like outrage, empathy, and that weird sense of satisfaction we get from a public downfall. These feelings build communities and keep you watching. Today, we're dissecting this drama for profit playbook to show you how a simple conflict gets spun into a full-blown financial strategy. Section 1. The anatomy of a drama goldmine. Online drama rarely just happens. More often than not, it's manufactured or at least funneled through a predictable cycle. Think of it like a 4-act play where every move is designed to maximize engagement and, ultimately, profit. Act 1 is the spark. This is the event that kicks everything off. It could be a controversial tweet, a leaked DM, or a messy breakup. The spark itself is often small, but it has two key ingredients: a recognizable person and some kind of screw-up, real or not. It instantly creates a story with a hero and a villain before anyone even knows what's really going on. Act 2 is the fan. This is where the money machine really starts to hum. A handful of commentary channels whose entire job is to be the town criers of the internet pick up the story. They fan the flames by packaging the drama into a neat little narrative. They'll clip the most heated moments, add their 2 cents, and serve it up as breaking news. The titles are pure clickbait. We need to talk about this, or this is the end of their career. The original dispute is no longer a private matter, it's public entertainment. It becomes a story, and that story is now a product. Act 3 is the inferno. Once those first videos get traction, the algorithm does the rest. The story explodes. Suddenly, hundreds of other creators jump in. Everyone has a take. You've got the internet detectives digging up old posts, the defenders, the accusers, and even the meta commentators who make videos about the people making videos. This is peak drama. Views go through the roof, and the ad revenue pours in. For a few days, a single conflict can become its own micro-industry. Finally, we hit Act 4, the ashes. The fire burns out. The internet moves on. This is the apology video stage, filled with taking a break announcements and long reflective monologues, but even the ashes are profitable. Apology videos get millions of views because they promise closure, and creators know that's just as tempting as the initial fight. And then, the cycle goes quiet, just waiting for the next spark. Section 2, the monetization machine, how the money actually flows. So, that's the cycle, but how does all that attention turn into actual money? It's a multi-layered strategy that goes way beyond old-school video ads. First, the obvious one, ad revenue. The YouTube Partner Program is the foundation of it all. Creators get a cut of the money from ads shown on their videos. For drama content, this is a gold mine. The videos are often long, which means more ad breaks, and the high emotional engagement, comments, likes, shares, tells the algorithm to push the video to more people. A single video on a trending drama topic can have an RPM, or revenue per 1,000 views, of anywhere from $3 to $5, potentially earning thousands of dollars in just a few days. But for a smaller creator, even a single viral drama video can be a huge financial boost, sometimes making up the majority of their channel's total income, even if their subsequent videos don't perform as well. Second is a merchandise. This is how creators cash in on the communities that form around a fight. When the audience picks a side, creators can sell merch that serves as a badge of loyalty. Think t-shirts with inside jokes or mugs with catchphrases from the controversy. The viewers who are most emotionally invested become the most loyal customers. Third, you have sponsorships and affiliate marketing. You'd think brands would run from controversy, but the sheer number of views is often too big to pass up. A creator pulling in millions of eyeballs has a valuable audience. Some brands will gladly place their products in these videos, knowing they'll be seen. Affiliate marketing is also huge here. A creator might recommend a product, and every time someone buys it through their link, they get a cut. Finally, and maybe most powerfully, there's direct support. Platforms like YouTube and Patreon let fans pay creators directly through channel memberships, super chats on live streams, or monthly pledges. Fans can show their support with their wallets. Drama creates a strong us versus them feeling. Viewers who believe a creator is being unfairly attacked are highly motivated to donate money as a sign of solidarity, creating a revenue stream that's often more reliable than ads. Section 3. Masters of the craft. Not all drama creators are the same. Over the years, a few distinct styles have emerged, each mastering a different approach to maximize their impact. First, you have the investigative documentarian. These creators don't just report on drama, they turn it into an event. They drop massive, multi-hour video essays that present a mountain of evidence to support their argument. They position their work as serious journalism, not just gossip. This approach builds incredible authority. When they release a video, it can dominate the conversation for weeks. Next is the Daily Reporter. These channels are like the cable news of YouTube. They give you daily updates on whatever saga is currently unfolding. Their strength isn't deep analysis, it's speed and consistency. They build a loyal audience that tunes in every day for the latest scoop, guaranteeing a steady flow of views and a predictable income. Finally, there's the Moral Arbiter. This creator frames every conflict as a clear battle between good and evil. They don't just give you the facts, they give you a verdict. By taking a strong ethical stance, they tap directly into their audience's sense of justice. Their content is highly emotional and incredibly effective at building a passionate community that feels like supporting the channel is supporting a cause. Section 4. The ethics of it all. It's easy to get lost in the mechanics and forget that real people are at the center of this. Is this all just harmless entertainment, a digital soap opera, or is there a real cost to the drama for profit machine? The truth is, this content often revolves around real people whose reputations and mental health are on the line. The nonstop scrutiny can have serious consequences, and the audience isn't immune either. Being constantly exposed to outrage can be draining and foster a cynical worldview. YouTube's policies try to walk a fine line. The platform has rules against harassment, which it defines as targeting someone with prolonged insults, threats, or humiliating content. However, there are exceptions for content that has a clear educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic purpose. The line between harsh criticism, which is allowed, and harassment, which is not, can be incredibly blurry and difficult to enforce. Recently, YouTube has also begun to crack down on what it calls low effort, inauthentic, or reused content. To stay monetized, creators are now pushed to provide transformative value, meaning they must add significant commentary, criticism, or new meaning to any third-party material they use. But at the end of the day, the system is built to reward engagement, and nothing engages people quite like conflict. The financial incentive to create drama often wins out over the ethical reasons to avoid it. The drama for profit playbook is one of the most powerful unspoken forces in the creator economy. It's a sophisticated system that has perfected the art of turning human conflict into a commodity. It's no accident your feed is full of it. It's a business model. It's a cycle of sparks, infernos, and ashes, all carefully monetized through ads, merch, and fan support. As the people who watch this content, we are the fuel that keeps this engine running. Our views, our comments, and our emotions are the resources being mined. The blueprint works because we let it. If you find these deep dives into the creator economy valuable, consider subscribing for more breakdowns like this one, and let me know what you think in the comments. Have you ever been sucked into a drama rabbit hole? Now that you know the playbook, do you see it differently?